Hello and welcome to my hardcore world. I'm so happy to see you because today's episode is really special to me for few reasons. First of all, my hardcore world is rapidly approaching 1000 days. I'm not gonna cross that line today, but I will do it on my first ever stream, so look out for that in the announcement if you want to catch it live. Second reason why this episode is special is that I'm finally playing a new 1.20 update. I know, it's been out for a while. Doesn't matter. I'm so excited to use new bamboo blocks. I accumulated some number of bamboos from this really tiny farm. Probably I need to invest in the better farm. Probably in the next episode. But today I will finally do something that I wanted to do for almost 1000 days. It's to finally transform this zombie village on my tiny jungle island. My home island that I spawned in. This village really needs some makeover. Building an entire village is a big project. I've been kind of putting it away, but you know, with this new update and these new bamboo blocks, I feel so inspired to build it. And I really want to use some of these new bamboo blocks, which are actually ideal for the styles that I want to build my village. I've been really inspired by some Japanese style, or in general East Asian. You can really see it from my house, or temple, or mansion. I really like how it looks, but you know, it looks quite lonely. So building a village, even a tiny village, can bring so much life to my tiny island. Sorry golem, not you. Anyway, my house is quite big and spirit tree is much bigger, and I want my village look proportionate, so it cannot be as small as this one. So probably I will have to build in the water, which means this iron farm has to go. In fact, all of this has to go, as I will build all of it from zero. Luckily this iron farm gives me enough iron for a while, so I will not struggle. And I will open you a small secret. I have designed a lighthouse iron farm. I will build it in one of the next videos, so look out for that. Moving on. While we were speaking about future plans, I've been working hard. I was relocating all of my villagers into this safe space. Yes, let's just call it safe space. One day I will release them free, but I need to zombify them first before the next update. And one and only zombie villager that I have right now is actually hidden in that iron farm. Yep, instead of zombie, I have zombified villager in my iron farm, scaring my other villagers by the inevitable future that expects them. Don't worry villagers, I'll save you. You can sleep, but not tonight, because I'm moving you out. And now it's time to move my zombie villager. He doesn't have a name. I should probably name him. You know, it's completely my fault that he is zombie, because first I kidnapped him from his family and friends, and then I kind of lost him in a glitch. So for now I'll just make sure that he's alive, and he will be the very first villager I will dezombify. You know, it's almost 1000 days and I still don't have a zombie doctor advancement. So let's put him here and make sure that he is safe. And after all of the villagers are relocated to the safe space, we can finally clean up this mess and prepare ground for work. Look what I found! That's actually the very first diamond that I found. I was afraid I lost it, and it was here all this time. I know just the place where I will put it. I want to see it when I'm sitting on my bed throne. It should be always in front of my eyes, so I'll put it on this wall. I think that's exactly what this wall was missing. My very first diamond. Am I the only one who keeps first diamond? When you play in your world, do you value diamonds, or you just craft with them immediately? Let me know in the comments. I'm really curious to know. Maybe I shouldn't obsess so much. So now you can see how I was preparing the ground for my future builds, and I will start building my village from actually building a wall. This wall will not protect them from the zombie. It has different purpose, let me explain. So as you can see, my house is quite grand, so it makes sense if I will build some sort of support wall to add a little bit structure that is really needed for my house. Also, since my houses will be located on the water level, This type of holding walls that I will build will be a great background for the houses. What I'm going for in this support wall. It shouldn't be too distracting, it shouldn't draw too much attention, but it should look nice and it should have good foundation. So first of all, I built these columns from spruce wood. I spaced them 3 blocks apart. And the only thing that I need is to design one section and just repeat design all around. And having it 3 blocks wide makes this job very easy. So I've played a little bit around with blocks and I'm finally happy with the result. First of all, I'm using very similar palette that I actually do in my house. That way there is a continuity. Since I live on the island and very close to the desert, it feels very natural to use sandstone block, in this case smooth sandstone. But I can add sandstone or sand if I want some texture. For the base, I decided to go with these deep slate tiles. They look quite fundamental. I hope you know what I mean. And because they are too dark, they will not draw too much attention. And using stairs adds more support, visual support. Warped stem works very well on top. Well, it works for me, because I really like this color. You can tell it from the way my house looks. But also this color looks very well with sandstone and spruce, and it can be very well complemented with this soul lamp. And this stair detail, as well as these warped fences, work really nice together. And the trapdoor is final touch. What do you think about this wall? I think it has just enough details, so it's not way too simple, but also it's not too complicated. So it's gonna be very easy to replicate and it's gonna look very nice. So I almost done one corner and I really like how it looks. And since the design is very repetitive, it's very easy to replicate and build very fast. I just built the wall and I already feel so much happier and I feel even more motivated to continue building my village. And I started it from planning the streets. I had to build them in the water because, as I said, houses wouldn't fit on the island alone. But here is warning from me. If you build during the night, do not forget to place the torches. This is hardcore world. You don't want to lose it to a creeper that will just sneak from behind when you're building your house. That was such a rookie mistake. Not gonna do it again. Hopefully. So before I got distracted, I was saying that I started from building the streets. In fact, I have pretty good idea about the size and the shape of some of my houses. For example, on this side I will have 4 different houses, mostly small. But on this side I will have just one big L-shaped house. It will be longer than other houses and will define the shape of the village. And of course there I will build something special. Well, no need to pretend that it's a surprise. You saw on the preview, it's a Torii gate. As you see, the path is made out of bamboo blocks. I think this block looks very nice as a floor. I use spruce wood as a support and deep slate as a frame. That way the block palette is quite consistent with my wall, and I will keep similar palette for my house. As I said before, what's important for me was shape. This configuration will provide the shape to my village, kind of being its outer wall. Wooden beams of the building are again built with spruce, and for walls I used smooth sandstone. This material I will use for all of my buildings. And for the roof I decided to use dark prismarine and deep slate. And I have quite good reasoning for it. Hear me out. Since I build in tiny village on a small island, it makes sense to make all of the houses from similar materials. Using same wood, same sandstone and prismarine will make houses cohesive, but houses that I will build will have quite different shape and different details. So each house will be unique and it will have its own identity. So let's discuss this house a little bit more. Since it is a bit on the bigger side, I decided it makes sense to have 2 entrances. By the way, floor is made out of bamboo planks and the door, of course, will be made out of bamboo, accompanied with these lovely bamboo trapdoors. It fits so well in this type of building. As for the windows, I was using oak trapdoors or dark oak fences. Also, this house has 2 big balconies. This balcony will have nice view for the Torii gate, and it's actually very nice area for fishing. Also, I use dark oak fences and gates as a support structure under the roof. It's a small detail, but it makes house looks much more better. Also, it allows me to add a lot of lanterns. First of all, lanterns look very organic in this type of builds, but also, you don't need accidental creeper, especially creeper on a roof. This way, house will be very well illuminated, and it looks quite cute. Cat already wants to move in. I'm sorry there is no interior there yet. Also, roof of this house is very simple. It's just made out of slabs, and just a little bit of these curved details. So, what do you think? The house is big, but simple. The only block that is hard to get is dark prismarine. Luckily, I have a farm for that. But you can use warp planks instead of prismarine. It's more easy to gather a lot. The roof and the walls are all made from one type of block, meaning I didn't do any texturing. Any Minecraft Pro builder will just boo me, because doing texturing is like rule number 1 in Minecraft building. But you know, I prefer to build my buildings quite clean. I will add a little bit of block variation afterwards, when I will do interior, if I feel like it. I think since our walls are not so big, they don't really need it. But what is essential is lightning rod. They're important. Just trust me, just put some. Anyway, moving to building number 2. This time it's a square building, smaller than previous one, but actually taller. The combination of blocks is exactly the same. As I said before, the difference will be in the shape of it. So this time roof will be a little bit wider. As before, it's made out of dark prismarine slabs and framed with desolate, this time with desolate tiles. On top I built this smaller second floor and this triangular roof made of stairs. Details, as always, are quite similar. Dark oak fences for the window. And I got distracted. Hello mister, can I help you? A cherry sapling! Oh no. As I said before, it's first time that I'm playing in 1.20 update. So I haven't had a chance to explore my world. And I haven't seen cherries just yet. I wanted to explore my world together with you on a live stream. So if I buy cherry right now, it will kind of defeat the purpose. So I will not buy these cherry saplings. I will put him in the nether and I hope he doesn't despawn, getting distracted all the time. But as you see, I have 2 houses that are built from the same materials. But because they are so different in shape and size, they have their own character and individuality. Whatever, you understood me. But using same tricks and very similar details makes you believe that these 2 buildings belong together. And although this house is quite small, due to the fact that it's a bit taller, it looks quite spacious inside, so I quite like it. Also, it has plenty of light. This wall I decided to keep blank, but I used dark oak signs for small detailing. If you look at my village from above, I hope you can understand where I'm going with my build. The fact that all of my buildings are located a little bit lower than my main house don't make them overshadow my main building. The spirit tree is still the most prominent feature of this island. Now it just looks less lonely. But you know, building a village is not only about building houses. Let's be honest, the best villages always have some prominent feature. They would always have a place, some sort of a place, where people can go together and hang out around. So I thought, since I'm building all of my buildings on the water, I have a little bit of land. So I decided to build a well and a gong. And let's start from the gong. So the gong is very simple. I made a pedestal out of spruce and prismarine. The supports are out of dark oak fences and this is copper. It's not waxed, so it will oxidize. Now in the center it's raw copper, but eventually I will replace it. I will put a bell in the middle, so it can actually do a gong thing, if you know what I mean. Since I built the gong from this side, I will build a well from the other side from the main entrance. It will create a nice symmetry, and this corner wouldn't look so empty. So here is the thing. I built the well on the same line with the gong, and it kind of didn't fit there. I had to squeeze it to the wall. I liked the design. It was very similar to my second house, almost the same. But the fact that it was so squeezed, I hated it. I even placed this lantern and water. Look, I hate it. Location is not good. I messed up. I want to move it by few blocks, so I need to completely demolish it. Well, let's go! Much better. It's still a little bit too close to the wall. But at least now it's not squeezed there. I'm still not sure if I really like it. I mean, the design I like. It's the placement. It's a little bit off. By the way, instead of using just spruce wood, this time I decided to strip it, because it was way too dark and you couldn't really see it in the shadow. Now it has a little bit of lighter color, so you can actually see it. There is something important I wanted to say. It's very easy to take all the credit for all of these builds, but I want to be honest. I always look for the inspiration in Planet Minecraft. There are so many talented builders, so whenever I struggle with some roof design, or some interesting ideas, or just small details, I always look out for some inspirations. So if any of these houses remind you of something that you've seen before, probably that's why. Being creative in many cases, it's to be inspired by somebody else. So if you need some inspiration, I recommend you visit Planet Minecraft and explore what other people are doing. So as you see, another house popped up. This one is rather rectangular, and the roof has different shape. It has bigger porch that is covered by this roof. So far, this is the smallest house. And if you look from the outside, because it's small, it doesn't really cover the house that is from behind. So it's another idea that you can use. If you want your village to look dynamic, it's an excellent idea to make houses of different heights. I'm using very similar tricks for the details in my build. These signs just tie up everything together, just enough details, and it does look like they belong together in their own ways. I actually planned a lot for this episode. I was so busy building that somehow, I don't even know how, I built 2 more houses and I have absolutely no recording of it. But don't worry, I will show you one of the houses, the more interesting one. This is a house that will frame my village from the other side. As you can see, it's a little bit elongated. And what's different about this house is this open door planning. I was inspired by open bathhouse design, but I decided to make it with this completely open balcony. It will have a really nice view on the lighthouse that I'm planning to build over there. As you can see, it ties up the village together. Now it kind of looks more complete. Although I built only 5 houses, because of how they located and their sizes, they actually create an illusion of full village, especially when you look from this perspective. But it does still miss something. The most prominent feature that I actually look forward to build. And again, you saw it from the preview, so you know what to expect. A Torii gate. This is exactly what my village needs in order to complete the look, and I plan to build it towards the west, where the sunset is, so I can observe this amazing Minecraft sunsets from the porch of my house. But before I build the Torii gate, there is one thing that really bothers me. I have to fix it first. There is no railings on my bridge, so let's put some, so it's more safe, so I can finally stop falling into the water. And so my villagers want, once they're free of course. For the railings, I use bamboo fences and gates, as well as some deep slate. And since I'm working on the railings, it seems fitting to build these lamps, so I can stop relying on these torches on the path. In my opinion, no building is finished until you remove the torches that are just placed on the ground. It kind of kills the immersion. And the design for the lamppost is very simple and very easy to replicate. And it's actually very easily adjustable in case I need to place it in the corner. So the base design is deep slate fence, 2 warped fences, deep slate fence again, green frog light, warped stairs, warped trapdoor, and 2 lanterns on the chains. I placed it on the side of the railings, so it's not on my way when I walk this path. Lanterns provide plenty of lights, so I won't be afraid of creepers. And in the corners, I still place the lanterns along the railings. I think it makes more sense, and it's also not on the way. I really like this design. It uses elements from surrounding builds, and it's quite simple, so it fits perfectly in this village. Anyway, now with this done, I can finally build what I actually wanted to build for a very long time. Just give me a minute to enjoy this beautiful sunset. This is exactly what my village was missing. It doesn't seem like much, but it looks so nice and it makes me happy. I used crimson wood for pillars and warped wood for the top, and you know, it just looks so nice together. The combination of two nether wood types is so nice. And you know, I have an idea. I built this Torii gate on the west side of my island, and I thought this gate is perfect to observe sunsets and moonsets. So I have an idea to build an identical Torii gate on the south side of my island. I will just swap crimson and warped wood, so it will have opposite color scheme, but otherwise look exactly the same. And it will be perfect to watch sunrises in my world. The other ideas that I have, but I kind of doubt it, is whether should I turn this Torii gate into a nether portal. I know, the idea is not so new, it would look really nice, but I think it's better to keep this gate open as it is. As you see, I've been a little bit paranoid about these lightning rods. It's probably an overkill. I place them on every single house. I probably don't have to. But also, now I don't have to worry about my villagers, or my houses, or my tree. I really don't want any fires here. So let's keep it that way. I put a lot of time and effort in building this village, and I really like how it turned out. Yes, houses don't have interior and villagers are not roaming the street, at least not yet, but my home island looks so much better already. And you know, I'm not done with village or the island. I have so many ideas. So after I celebrate 1000 days on this world, I have so much more work to do. So many ideas. Some of them are already in the works. So I really hope you'll join me for the ride. And while I'm adding these last minute small details, I want to take a moment and say thank you so much for watching. If you liked this episode, if you liked the builds, if you found something that inspires you, just hit that like. It's not that hard, but it means so much for me. Leave a comment and I'll try my best to reply. Unless YouTube will hide your comment from me, then it's not my fault, I'm sorry. And of course, subscribe so you don't miss my next episode. So until the next time, bye!